Hello students, in the previous class we discussed about what is dilution, we even discussed about pH. Now, how is this pH useful in our daily life? In today's class we shall discuss. Now, plants and animals are pH sensitive. Suppose you might have heard about acid rains. When the pollution and various gases are very high, what happens is the rainwater gets mixed with the gases that are there in the atmosphere. As a result, you get acid rain. Suppose if the pH of the rainwater is less than 5.6, then that is called acid rain. Because of this acid rain, what happens is the plant will not be able to grow, the plants will not be able to grow properly. The same water goes into rivers. If it goes into rivers, what happens is the animals that are there in the rivers, the aquatic life, they get affected, they even may die. So that's about pH in the case of plants. Next, pH change causes tooth decay. We have a hardest substance called calcium phosphate covering our teeth, that is called tooth enamel. Teeth enamel. What happens with that enamel is, suppose after eating you have bacteria in your mouth. The bacteria, what does it do is, it degrades sugars and other food materials and it releases acids. Now if you are not washing your mouth for a long time, what happens is this acid corrodes the tooth enamel. So you need to wash every time you eat food, you need to wash with a toothpaste that is basic in nature. Toothpaste is basic, it must be basic in nature. Next, we have about pH in our digestive system. What happens with our digestive system is, hydrochloric acid is secreted in us, released in our stomach. Sometimes what happens is during indigestion, more amount of hydrochloric acid will be released in our stomach, because of which we get pain or irritation. So we take an antacid which generally contains magnesium hydroxide, which is also called milk of magnesia. Magnesium hydroxide is also called milk of magnesia. What you do is, take HCl and add methyl orange and add HCl to it. You will observe that the methyl orange turns reddish in color. Now you add milk of magnesia or any antacid tablet to it. What happens is the reddish color disappears, it becomes lighter, it might become orangish or yellowish. Okay, that's about pH in our digestive system. Next, pH in our soil. Suppose if you want to test the pH of a soil, what you have to do is, take soil, mix it with water, filter the water, you get the soil solution. Now, once you get the soil solution, you test the pH of the soil solution, note down the pH value. That will give you what is the pH that is required for the healthy growth of plants. Next, self-defense by animals and plants. When any honeybee stings, have you ever been stung by a honeybee? It causes pain and irritation, even the ant bite. That is because they release an acid called ethanoic acid or formic acid, because of which you get pain and irritation. What you can do is, you can rub that area with baking soda that is available in your kitchen, to reduce that irritation or pain. There is a plant called nettle plant. If you touch the leaves, it injects ethanoic acid in the place wherever you have touched it, because it has needle-like structures. Now, traditional remedy for this is, there is a dock plant available in the nearby places. You can rub that area with the dock plant, which is usually basic. So when you are rubbing, the irritation disappears. Now, that's about pH. Even in swimming pools, what happens is, you usually find them mixing with acid, mixing with the base. If the pH has become too high, pH becomes low, that is when the acidic nature of the water in the swimming pool increases, they have to mix it with base. Even the farmers, if the soil is too acidic, they have to mix it with a base, so that it becomes neutral, slightly neutral. He can adjust the pH of the soil by testing the soil. Now, let us come to salts. What are these salts? Whenever acid reacts with base, you get salt and water. Whenever acid reacts with base, you get salt and water. Since you have different types of acids and different types of bases, you get number of salts available. Let us say NaCl and KCl, they belong to chloride family. NaCl and NaSO4, they belong to sodium family. Like that you have carbonates, sulfates, etc. What you do is collect these salts: sodium chloride, copper sulfate, sodium acetate, aluminum chloride, sodium carbonate, sodium hydrogen carbonate. All these salts individually you mix it with universal indicator. Now this universal indicator will show some color for each of the salt. It shows some color change for each of the salt. Hence you can find the pH of that salt. Salts are of three types. Salts are of three types. One is acidic salt, basic salt and neutral salts. Salts obtained from strong acid and weak bases are usually acidic in nature. Salts obtained by weak acid and strong base are basic in nature. Their pH will be greater than 7. Here the pH will be less than 7. Here the pH will be greater than 7. Neutral salts are those salts which are obtained by strong acid, strong base, weak acid and weak bases. Strong acid, strong base, weak acid, weak base usually give neutral salts. Now we shall discuss about the most commonly used salt, that is sodium chloride. Sodium chloride, it is also called common salt or table salt. It is available, it is obtained from seawater. Seawater has number of salts in which the predominant salt is sodium chloride. Seawater is usually evaporated in belts near the seashore. So when the water disappears from it, you get a salt. From that salt they separate NaCl. It is usually added to food to enhance the taste of the food. You know about it. That's why it is called table salt, common salt. During bygone ages, what happens is the seas that once were dried up often left salt and it is mined like coal. Such salt is called rock salt. In the next class we shall see what all chemicals we obtain from common salt. So that's all for today's class, children. We shall continue in the next class.